Welcome to The Explainer. So let's talk about giving. Have you ever given a gift or maybe done a big favor for someone and then kind of felt a little, I don't know, resentful when you didn't get anything back? Today, we're going to dissect the surprisingly complex psychology behind it all. We'll explore when generosity makes our relationships stronger and when it can secretly, quietly, tear them apart.
Okay, so to kick things off, let's frame our discussion with a fantastic word, largesse. It basically means that spirit of generosity when you're giving gifts or money. It sounds wonderful, right? But as we're about to find out, not all generosity is created equal.
And this really gets us to the heart of the matter. Should giving always come with no strings attached? It seems like a simple question with a simple yes, but, the answer is way more complicated than you'd think.
Well, the answer depends entirely on which of two worlds you're in at that moment. You've got the world of transactions and you've got the world of relationships. And believe me, understanding that difference, it's everything.
See, these two worlds, they play by completely different rules. The transactional world, that's your business deal. Think Shark Tank, right? Negotiation is the name of the game because the whole point is to fight for the best possible deal. But the relational world, with people you actually care for, is built on a totally different foundation. Giving is supposed to be free, no strings, because the moment you start keeping score, it just gets weird and you risk damaging that connection.
Now, the real trouble begins when we get these two worlds mixed up. When we start applying that transactional mindset to our personal relationships. Even if we don't realize we're doing it, we introduce a really dangerous hidden cost. The invisible string.
I want you to picture it like this. Imagine you give someone a gift, but attached to that gift is a tiny, practically invisible fishing line. You hand it over, but you're still holding on to the end of that line, secretly waiting for the right moment to reel something back in.
This invisible line kicks off a really toxic chain reaction. It always starts with that secret expectation. And when that expectation, surprise, surprise, isn't met, it starts to curdle into resentment. That feeling just builds and builds under the surface until, eventually, the whole relationship sours. All because that first gift wasn't really a gift at all.
And this is the crux of it. This kind of giving isn't generous. As the quote says, when there is a secret string attached that you expect in the future, you are not in the place to give someone something freely and genuinely. What you're really doing is setting up a hidden deal, and it's that lack of honesty that ends up poisoning the well.
Okay, so that's the pitfall. It sounds a bit bleak, I know, but thankfully there's a better way. There are two really healthy paths you can take for giving that actually strengthen your relationships instead of breaking them down. So here they are, the two paths. Path number one is truly unconditional giving. Think of this like a pure donation. You just give it freely. And path number two is what we'll call openly communicated giving. This is where a string does exist, but, and this is the important part, it's visible, it's stated up front, and everybody's on the same page.
Let's look at path one. This is the purest form of giving there is. You offer your time, a gift, your help, whatever, just for the joy of doing it. You let it go completely. Zero expectation of getting anything in return. It's a genuine act of largesse, and all it does is build goodwill. Now, path two shows us how to attach a string the right way, through open, honest communication. So instead of a secret expectation, you create a totally transparent agreement. You might say something like, hey, I can grab dinner tonight if you can get it next week. See, the string is right there, out in the open. And when you both honor that simple agreement, it doesn't create resentment. It builds trust.
And here's a brilliant way to think about it. These open agreements are like building a good credit score for your relationship. Every single time an agreement is made clear and then respected, you're making a deposit in the trust bank. It's proof that you're reliable, and that makes the bond between you that much stronger.
So, we've looked at the two worlds, the hidden dangers, the healthy paths. Where does all this leave us? What's the real bottom line? Well, it all comes down to the true nature of kindness and what the real return on your investment is. Ultimately, real, true kindness isn't about what you get back. It's about understanding this idea right here. Kindness doesn't echo in empty rooms, it multiplies in crowded hearts. The real return isn't for you, it's the positive ripple effect you create in other people. So, we'll leave you with this one last question to chew on. Take a second to think about your own generosity with your friends, your family, your coworkers.
What invisible strings might be attached to your own giving? Are you holding on to any invisible fishing lines without even knowing it? Just being honest with yourself about that is the first and most important step toward making your giving truly meaningful. Thanks for joining us, Explainer.